Hey everyone, what's going on, Leets and Geeks? It's your boy, Servant of Shiloh here on RPG Elite, and it's the first Tuesday of the month, and you guys who come here regularly, you guys know what that means. It is RPG Elite Philosophy for Life. Now, for those of you who've been watching regularly, this is the part you want to skip ahead as I explain to our newcomers what this whole thing is about. So RPG Elite is about tabletop RPGs. That is what we cover here. And we have a specific philosophy called the RPG Elite philosophy. It's a mindset and approach towards tabletop RPGs. Now, I've done an entire series on this that's over 40 videos, really outlining in detail, and I didn't cover everything I could have, but I outlined a lot in terms of what the RPG Elite philosophy is when it comes to tabletop RPGs. When we were getting at the end of that series, I said, you know, there's a foundation here that goes beyond tabletop RPGs. These are things that actually help you in your life. So I did a new series, which is what we're in right now, which is the RPG Elite Philosophy for Life series. There are 10 qualities in the RPG Elite philosophy, and we are on quality number 8. We don't focus on the system. We focus on the story because it is about the story. Now, in this series, I've made this particular quality like 5 videos long because it is the most important quality when it comes to tabletop RPGs and also when it comes to your life, your story, or the story of your character. Now, in this series, I outlined 2 things that you wouldn't expect that you need in your story to make it more interesting and fulfilling. So if you haven't seen those videos, I'll have links for them down in the description. And today we're going to end it up with our 5th video. And that 3rd element that you need in your life, but again, it's not one of those things that you think of right away when it comes to your story. But you should, because really, when it comes to any story, without these elements, you don't really have a story. And we'll go over that today. So let's get to number 3 in this series in terms of the elements that you need to have a more fulfilling and interesting story. Or in other words, that your life can be more fulfilling and interesting. Let's do it, y'all. And roll that transition. The 3rd element out of the 3 elements that I've been laying out, the 3rd element to add is challenge. Now, this is one of those things that many people don't add to their lives, and it's one of the things that they have complete control over. We have complete control over the challenges in our lives. The other 2 that we mentioned, those kind of can pop up anywhere, especially the first one. You don't even see that one coming. But this one here, this is something that you can self-impose into your life on a regular basis. Challenges. So we're on the same page. This is how I like to do things here. Let's go ahead and define what I mean by challenge, so we can just go from that foundation. So let's look at what it means in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. To arouse or stimulate, especially by presenting with difficulties. Okay? That's true. That's a challenge. We're going to come back to that. But I like how the Cambridge Dictionary defines this. The situation of being faced with something that needs great mental or physical effort in order to be done successfully and therefore tests a person's ability. Here's a quote that I love from Germany Kent when it just talks about living in general. And listen to what he says. Don't live the same day over and over again and call that a life. Life is about evolving mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. See, most people think that they're living, but they're not. They're just hamsters in a wheel cage. A lot of activity getting nowhere. Now, you might be asking the question, why don't people add challenges to their lives more often? Well, let me give you 4 reasons why I think people avoid adding challenge to their lives. Now, this is going to be kind of rapid fire, but we're going to get through this. So the first reason I think people don't add challenge to their lives is just because they're lazy. They live these kind of hedonistic lives. It's only for their pleasure, and they really don't want to do anything difficult or hard, because remember, in both of those definitions, you got 2 words there that scare people who are lazy: effort and difficulties. Okay, so they're going to run far away from anything that's going to have that in it, unless it brings them instant pleasure in the moment. This is why a lot of people just sit around all day and play video games. It's always about getting the dopamine hit. Shoot, it's the same reason why people go around and flit about from game to game to game when it comes to tabletop RPG. Same reason. Now, another reason is they're a naysayer. They're pessimistic. Pessimism. No, that can't happen. No, I can't do this. Nah, that's just too difficult. And so they're not going to add any challenge to their lives. Oh, I can't get over that. Oh, that's going to be too hard. Oh, that's okay. Well, I guess not. I guess it will be. But one thing is for sure, your story will be horrible to live with an attitude like that. And nobody wants to be around a person like that. If you're finding that there's people who are exiting your lives and you're that kind of person, I'm telling you right now, that's the reason why. Nobody wants to be around that. The third reason people don't add challenges to their lives is that they're just apathetic. They just don't care. And not realizing that if you just added a bit of challenge to your life, things would change dramatically. And then the fourth reason is cowardice. They're afraid. They're cowards. And laziness and pessimism can stem from this as a root. Being afraid to do something doesn't necessarily mean you're automatically a coward. Actually, a person who does something even though they are afraid are courageous. That's actually put into the definition of courage. But those people who want to give excuses and kind of lift it up as something that's a virtue in some cases, in terms of can't, won't, crying and saying they won't do it, or lazy or whatever. Okay, well then that means that you're just a coward. You're just a coward. I mean, at least admit it. Right? Here's a quote from Steve Maraboli that I absolutely adore. Listen to what he says here. Action separates the heroes from the cowards, the achievers from the complainers, the successful from the mere dreamers, the happy from the envious. It separates those who rise to the challenge of their goals from the haters who cower in the shadow of stagnancy. And then complain about it when they have total control over this. This is all on you. I say it like this. You are the sum total, and where you are in your life, I don't care who you are in this world. You are the sum total. You are there because of the sum total of the decisions that you've made in your life. Now, there might have been some things that happened that wasn't under your control, but that's not the sum total of your life. The decisions that you make and the attitude that you have, that's on you. No one else. So, what are the actual benefits of adding challenges? Well, I love this part, so let's get to it. Let's jump off into these benefits with a quote from Ray T. Bennett when it comes to adding challenges to your life. You learn something valuable from all of the significant events and people, but you never touch your true potential until you challenge yourself to go beyond imposed limitations. We all do this. We all impose limitations on ourselves. We say, nah, that's not going to happen. Nah, I can't do this. And the whole thing about it is that how do you know you can't do this? Or how do you know that that's going to happen if you've never done it? You don't know. We all underestimate what we can get done in a year, and we overestimate what we can get done in a month. You just don't know until you actually put in the work and see. So you have to actually add the challenge before you start saying, no, I can't overcome it, and no, I can't get through it. You just don't know. So what you do is set a goal, make a plan, implementation, and then you tweak as you go. All right, so let's look at 4 benefits of adding challenges to your story. And the first benefit is it builds your confidence. If you're a person, you don't have a lot of confidence in living, in life, just as maybe in your personality, this is the best way to build confidence. Again, you are in control of adding challenges to your life. So add a challenge and then meet that challenge, overcome that challenge. There's an old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Now, if you're looking at the whole elephant and you're going, oh my gosh, this will never happen, I can't do this. No, just focus on that one little point right there that you can eat and then start eating that. And then the next day come back and eat a little bit more. And the next day eat a little bit more. You will be surprised, number one, at how much you can eat. And number two, at you seeing this thing go down and down and down and overcome this challenge that seemed so big before and seemed like it was not possible. But now it's possible. And that will build your confidence. And the more that you do that, the more challenges that you add, the more that your confidence gets built up and goes up and goes up and goes up. Now, the next one is built off of that, which is you are now controlling your life. You know, one thing, if you ask people today, a lot of people, especially the younger generation, do you think you have control over your life? Do you feel as if you have control over your life? And the overwhelming majority of people say, no, I don't feel like I have control over my life. Well, if you want to have control over your life, start adding challenges. This thing called life, it abhors a vacuum, y'all. And so if you want control over your life, you add those challenges. You do it. The third one is that it gives purpose to your life. There was a study done by the American Psychological Association, and it said that longevity of life is determined more, or the study suggests that it's determined more by having a purpose than by life satisfaction. And another way of saying that is that you having an actual purpose in your life. Challenges are purposes in your life. You having an actual purpose is more impactful on how long you live than whether or not you are happy. Happiness is overrated. It is so overrated. And people will be like, I just want to be happy. Nah, that's not really what you want. You want joy, but joy is found in purpose. It's not found in circumstances, which is where happiness is. Happiness is dependent on happenings. Joy is tied directly to purpose, and purpose is tied directly to challenges. And challenges are things that you are in total control of. You see how that works? All of this is tied together. And the study said, hey, well, you know, it'll help you live longer. Is that right? It just may potentially be the thing that you need. You need purpose. You need to give yourself a purpose. And so that can come through challenges. And the fourth one, folks, is it develops resilience, like in life, in general, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. But adding these challenges to your life, it gives you resilience because, folks, failure's coming. Things will fail. And if you don't know how to deal with failure or things not working exactly the way that you want it to, then this is why people have so-called mental trauma, because they don't have any kind of resilience in life because they never add any challenges in life. They run from challenges instead of actually adding them to their lives so that they can have some kind of mental or spiritual or just life fortitude to get through things and adapt and cope and evolve and improve. Well, that only is going to come through a challenge. It's not going to come through things just working just grandly all of the time. Number one, that's just living in a fairy tale land, because that's not real life. So if you want to develop some kind of life resilience, add these challenges to your life. Add challenges, all types of challenges to your life all the time. Once you get and overcome that challenge, add another one. So have this stuff in the queue, write this stuff down, write down your challenges and then add them one by one by one. This crucible that you're building here, again, is totally under your control. However, when you put yourself in this crucible and you're overcoming things, when the other two come along, especially the first one, you are better able to handle it, because the first one is totally out of your control. But since you've put yourself willingly in this crucible of challenges here and you keep overcoming, you're building your confidence and everything, then when that comes, you will look at it a little bit differently. It's not just a threat, because that's normally how people look at challenges. It's a threat. Oh my gosh, what's happening? And people lose their mind. No, in this case, what you are doing is you are saying, how are we going to get over this? Because now you have developed an attitude that flips the script on challenges and looks at them differently. And as a result, guess what just happened? The person that you have always imagined yourself to be is actually being created by you adding these challenges. That, folks, is the point. Well, I hope you got some value out of this video today, because that's the point. And if you got some value out of this video, then go ahead, do a brother a solid, could you please? And could you just crush that like button? Also, if you want to stick around, I'll come out with videos on Tuesdays, God willing. And also, if I feel like it, some other days of the week. That's just kind of sporadic, so you got to watch out for it. So in order not to miss any of them, y'all, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Let's get to the question of the vid. Challenges, y'all. Would you have imagined that that would be the thing that you need for your own story? Of course you need challenges. Now, here's the thing. Maybe this is your Achilles heel. Maybe you run from it. What is blocking you from adding challenges to your life? All right? What's blocking you? Let me know down in the comments below. I want to read it. I want to see it, y'all. But right now, it's about that time. Ah, yeah, it's time for a brother to do his snag of puss.
So exit, stage left.
Hey, if you got a game coming up this week, y'all, happy gaming. I pray it is an RPG Elite session. I pray your life is RPG Elite and is more enjoyable, more immersive, more meaningful. So in the meantime, between time, go ahead, check out this video right here. That's the very first one, if you missed that one in this series. And me, well, it's time for me to say peace. 5,000 Leets. It's your boy Servant, and I am gone.